this was your son, and he made the mistake that lots of teens, and I made it when I was a teenager, made of drinking and driving, would you be upset if he was body slammed and pepper sprayed by the cops? Call me, 1-877-JVM says, 1-877-586-7297. Straight out to our Lions Den debate panel, and they are ready to rumble. We're going to start with defense attorney Brian Claypool. Do you believe that there is something wrong with that picture?
Jane, are you kidding me? This isn't a UFC championship fight, okay? This is a police officer who's trained to deal with suspects who've been arrested for drug charges and for DUIs. An officer has to be in fear of being harmed in order to slam somebody against the wall. You saw the tape. It speaks volumes. This suspect was simply walking straight ahead. The cop slammed his head into the wall. That's not only criminal, but this young man should be suing for a civil rights lawsuit as well.
Jordan Rose, attorney out of Phoenix.
Look, we have no idea what happened before we see the video, right?
We do, though.
This kid, no, we know that this guy was arrested for driving while intoxicated. He was on drugs, and since this time in 2009, this guy's been arrested 3 more times. So I have to, the investigation needs to take place, and we need to see what precipitated this, because he could have been crazy. He could have been acting irrationally. They might have had to put him down in some way.
Lieberman.
And
well,
it might
there's two separate issues here. Look,
John Lieberman.
we can't hear audio. We don't know what this kid is saying. But in some ways, it doesn't matter. It's safe to say, I've read through the police reports, it's safe to say that this kid was a pain in the butt to all of these officers the entire night, if you believe the police report. He was yelling profanity at them. He was pushing them in some cases, according to the police report. But police are trained to not get frustrated. And what I think you saw there was some frustrated, angry cops tired of dealing with a jerk of a teenager all night, and they stepped over the edge.
But you don't know if it was just a jerk or if they felt like their life was in danger. And if they felt like their life was in danger, we need to know that, and we need to see it. So let's see what happened before this, because I find it weird that this thing has
I've got some information. According to the
2009.
police report, this kid, Michael, was arrested for a DUI and drug possession. The report says he was uncooperative, aggressive, yelling, swearing, and tried to flush his own shirt down the toilet. The town manager says they stand behind the cops at this point, but they're looking into what happened.
We stand behind the Seabrook Police Department. We think that the Seabrook Police Department and the Chief of Police take their responsibility to the public very seriously. I know I do, and we will conduct a full and thorough investigation.
Now, Greg Kading, former LAPD detective, author of Murder Rap. This kid is no angel. Look at his rap sheet. According to SeacoastOnline.com, he was arrested on a charge of possession of controlled narcotic drugs in 2010. Simple assault in 2013. 2011, he was found guilty of conspiracy to sell controlled drugs. Does that history affect how we judge the cops' behavior in this case?
Absolutely not. All of that is completely irrelevant to what we see happening on that tape. That tape indicates, obviously, those cops were not under any kind of threat. Doesn't matter what kind of verbal abuse is going on. There's no way to justify that action. What's most disturbing is when you look at that in slow motion, how intentional it actually was. You see the cop leaning directly into his shoulder in order to force his face into that wall. You cannot justify those actions. And what's most surprising to me is that this is happening at a time and place when cops know they're on a surveillance camera.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Go ahead.
Jane, hey, Jane,
No.
if this kid was so uncooperative, why did they not have him handcuffed? He didn't even have any handcuffs on. That proves that these cops were belligerent and they knew what they were going to do, and the cop laughs at the last second because this kid was posing no harm at all.
And here's the other thing, Jane.
This is
here's the other thing.
You're jumping to such a conclusion. We haven't seen everything. It's like taking a video of your kid in a parade. You see the kid in a parade.
You would handcuff somebody if they were going to harm you.
But here's the thing. This happened back in 2009. Internal Affairs should be going through tapes from that period forward and seeing if there's anything else on those tapes. These incidents don't just happen once, and this one happened 4 years ago.
Well, I want to talk about YouTube justice. No, He said he gave it to his lawyer. For some reason, it didn't go anywhere. And then he finally decided to put it on YouTube. It's gotten 82,000 views. And now, voila, magically, we now have an investigation. And 3 cops are on paid leave as the department looks into what happened. So, you know, what I find fascinating is we're in this YouTube culture now where I call it YouTube justice. You have a complaint about something, put it up on YouTube. You know, calling government agencies. When's the last time you got an answer? Usually get a recording, right? Or beep, 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 beep. No, put it up on YouTube. You'll get answers. I want to go very quickly to Carroll, Indiana. Carroll, Indiana, what you got to say?